The Dayan GuHong Pro M, also known as the GuHong V5, was released not too long ago, and oh boy do I have a lot to say about it. Also wait until the end of the video to hear what my good friend PO Skip has to say about it. First things first, this cube is really cheap for the features it has. Regular magnets, core magnets, and a customization feature for only $17 is an extremely good deal if you ask me. Also the version I'm using is the 55mm one with springs. Yes, just like every cube nowadays, this one also comes with multiple versions. These ones, however, aren't as confusing as some of the others. Secondly, this cube's performance is really good, at least in my opinion, although this might be because my current main is the Tornado V3 flagship. See, the Tornado V3 is light, fast, flexible, fairly blocky and really soft with a hint of clackiness. Meanwhile, the GuHong Pro is also light, fast and flexible, though it is also a bit blockier and really clacky, as you can hear from these walls. One slight problem that I have with it is that it's ridiculously fast. If I had to rate the speed of the cube from 1 to 10, with 1 being way too slow and 10 being way too fast, then I'd say that the out of the box speed is around 8, and after barely setting it up, it's probably around 11. For comparison, the Tornado V3 is around 6 or 7 after setup. Yes, you heard that right. Even after tightening it and lubing it, it's still too fast to use on a regular basis. Also, the magnets aren't particularly strong, especially the core ones. While I don't mind these two inconveniences all too much, I can see someone hitting this cube just because of them. And speaking of setting up, we have to talk about this too. I think we all know that the Tornado V3 has 125 different unique settings. Or if you're a math nerd like me, that's 5 to the power of 3 or 5 times 5 times 5. 5 settings for axis distance / tightness, -2. 5 for spring compression / stability, -2 again. And 5 for magnet strength, -3 or the middle one. For comparison, the GuHong Pro only has 5 settings which are all only for axis distance, -2 again. First and less important, my settings on both cubes are suspiciously similar, though to be fair the total number of settings of both cubes itself is suspiciously similar, so this isn't too much of a concern. The bigger problem, however, is that the GuHong Pro has only a few settings for one thing. While this is perfect for the fans of simplicity, it isn't for those who like customizing their cubes. Especially when you remember that you cannot change the spin compression nor the magnets, which are both not perfect. With all of that said, is this cube my new main? Or will it ever be? Well, before I answer this question, I'm gonna pass it over to PO Skip to tell you his opinions on this cube.
When I heard about the GuHong Pro M, I thought it will be my instant main, since I used to main the GuHong V4M. However, after getting this cube, I was pretty disappointed. This cube doesn't feel like the GuHong V4M at all. Out of the box, the cube is uncontrollably fast and the cube is also wobbly. And I also heard some spring noise while turning this cube. The magnet feels weak for my liking and I barely feel the core magnet. And since there's only 5 settings on this cube, I couldn't find the right adjustment for my liking. After setting this cube up, the cube is more controllable, however the cube is still wobbly since a limited amount of the settings. If you want a great cube with the same price, just buy the RS-Stream V5.
Okay, thank you PO Skip for that very nice and definitely not harsh review of this cube. Anyway, what are my final thoughts on it? Well, it definitely won't overtake the Tornado as my main, but what about backup main? Well, prior to getting this cube, my backup main was the RS3M Super, which is a bit heavier and blockier, which is much farther from the Tornado V3 when compared to the GuHong Pro. But that's just my opinion, so what about you, the viewer? Well, if you're a newer cuber who doesn't know what their preferences are, I definitely recommend getting this cube with some kind of slowing or really heavy loop, like Speedy or Silk, because it definitely needs to be slowed down beyond just the tighter axis distance settings. If you are more experienced and don't mind faster cubes that require more control, then this starts to look like an option. But if you prefer slower or less flexible cubes, then I'd much rather recommend either the RS-Stream Super or the YS3M. That's all I've gotta say. Follow me and PO Skip on our social media, and I'll catch you guys and gals later.